What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 11 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Skrolk Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Skrolk has defeated Yuan Bo in a devastating ambush that saw us take effectively no losses here thanks to the lovely effect of the final blessing and that passive cannot die ability for 150 seconds. Great for those plague monks to run into the foe, or into the fray rather, and take damage but also dish it out. It will also combine very nicely with the units of the anointed plague monks as soon as we get some for Skrolk. Anyway, in addition to that, we have pretty much destroyed the Awakened as well, who are down to a single settlement and are looking to be moving to other places relatively soon. So, let's see what we got to do this episode. Now, Mother Ostankya is moving to the High Sentinel, which means we will probably... we should probably still sack Pahuax and maybe get back to the High Sentinel, or if we cancel it, we might be able to bait her into attempting to take it and landing. I'm not entirely sure what would be the better option. If we sack Pahuax, we'd be able to destroy the army and heavily damage it, move here, set up an ambush. Maybe that's the way to do it. Alright, you know what? We will cancel again. I think we did that last episode at the High Sentinel. We will sack Pahuax, and then we'll try to set up an ambush to kill off Mother Ostankya again, because clearly she doesn't want to attack the enemy faction right beside her. She wants to come here and attack us. Now, Ian, you are going to besiege the Star Tower. I'm going to hope that because this is the last settlement belonging to the Awakened, that they... Oh, did that the wrong way around. That they will not run away, or specifically Luther Harkin will not run away, because we may want to potentially give his defeat trait to the mutant here. And, oh, there's an island there. Well, I'm probably gonna loop back around. The mutant is one of the only ones who has a complete army right now. The others all need a retrofit, but he's okay. And once he's done here, we can send Ian Roxborough to transfer units, as there will be a Poison Wind army. And then we'll separate Pestilens and some of the others into other armies. Alright, that looks good to me. Although, I'm just thinking about the Encased Warp Engine one. Well, we'll see. Anyway, we'll get to it in a bit. Let's move everybody else around before we get Skrolky into the fight, shall we? Vermich, you were stuck here before because of the, not the plague, but because of the public order. You're still essentially using a Skaven slave army, though we would probably like to get you a proper sort of stack. You do have Hunted Down as well, even though you are a warlord. We could potentially make use of wait a second. Now, the Encased Warp Engines... Okay, just wait. Who has Encased Warp Engines? Mutant does. This buffs up the Poison Wind Globadiers, but it's only 10 armor, which isn't anything crazy. Weapons Engineer and none of the other traits that are given to Warlock Masters actually do anything for Poison Wind guys, so we could actually make you, Vermich, the wielder of that army, and use the Encased Warp Engines for the Fire Army instead, which may be the better option for us. Yes. Alrighty. Austin, you will also be getting your own army. What do you have? Now, you have badly mutated, so you need to be more of a frontline fighter. We could get you some poison rats. Alright, let's swap you guys around like this. You're going to go to the Blood Swamps, and if Ventur, you're going to head to Ashlodal, just for now. And then Vermich, you're going to head to Shalanwapek. And the public order here is still relatively okay, like so. Alright, just to keep the public order here rising, and here, well, it's the same place. Man, there we go. Lots of military presence, I just don't want to deal with the rebellions there, and we want our public order fixed everywhere. They will be getting their retrofit. Between the episodes, I also decided to get Metastone on the field, and we're going to pop the Dominating Scheme in order to get him his Clan Eshin army. It's time to get Eshin on the field, especially since they won't be as expensive to field as Molder will, though still, frankly, kind of expensive to recruit, but what can you do? We don't have any other way to reduce it than the Dominating Scheme. Next up, Ian is besieging... Oh, I guess it's just Lord Skrolky. Alright, Skrolky, it's time for you to hit Pahuax. I believe we can do this cinematically because there is... Ooh, SAYTANG is here. Oh, that's fun. How are we going to deal with him? I guess we'll have to see. And it's behind the walls, but I don't believe, just double checking, this place has a garrison building. So unless it's a special place, which doesn't look like it is, we should be good to actually assault it. Lovely, cinematically, I mean. Let's get to it. Alright, slay, kill indeed. Hey, I thought it was kill, slay. Ah, well, whatever, it doesn't matter. Let's get to it. We don't have a crazy amount of towers over on this side of the wall, fortunately for us, and those that are there should be brought down relatively quickly. The first one already down. And now that we have that cannot die ability, our units of plague monks, sensor bearers or not, are much better positioned to storm the walls. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna send them up there, and they will take them the old-fashioned way, which is the much more fun way. And actually, I'm thinking maybe we should actually replace the regular plague monks in this army with anointed plague monks. Could even just say they sort of get upgraded, as it were, to anointed plague monks after spending so much time with Skrolk. I'm just thinking that, well, the anointed plague monks are going to give us a lot more mileage over time, and we have a tendency to hang the regular plague monks back because they're even more fragile. I'll think about it. I was originally thinking we get some of each, but the Plague Monk's basic units are effectively, like, slightly more powerful versions of Clan Rats, and maybe they're too basic for a late-game Skrolk army. Not that he really needs the replacement, mind you, just sort of a principle of the thing, sort of thing. Anyway, the Plague Claws are doing a massive amount of damage to the enemy unit up on top of the walls even before these sensors can get on in there. We are also now climbing the walls, which means we got summons coming in inside the city. Even before the gate is down, the rats tunnel beneath it, and the Clan Rats and the... okay, well, half of them are dying to our own artillery, but Clan Rats and the Plague Monks make their way inside. But that's just the nature of fighting the Skaven, and we can see our Plague Furnaces working on those gates as well. A few more artillery shots come down, but we shall be ending them soon and transferring them to other enemy units while we start taking the walls with the sensor bearers. And there we go. Looks like halberd-wielding Jade Warriors are going to attempt to hold the ground. They do have armor, but we have plenty of armor piercing. They have high melee defense, but we have high melee attack, so this should be a contest very much in our favor. I'm sure we'll lose at least a few of the sensor bearers, because Jade Warriors are not to be underestimated. And, ooh... looks like a shot from SAYTANG does bring a few of them down. He's got heckin' good range there. Nice. Oh, and he's positioned well. Good job to the AI. I'm kind of impressed at the AI doing this and positioning him up here rather than standing down there and being useless. Alright. Actually using him essentially as an artillery monster like it's supposed to be doing. And by the looks of it, he's got a few 19 kills to his name so far. And let's see that shot. I had to slow it down because I want to see the animation. There we go, multi-shot coming in, and it's going to hit the blob right in front of the gates by the looks of it, and smash into one of the sensors as well, one of the plague furnaces as well. Massive amount of explosions going on to that multi-shot. Looks like this unit of plague monks got absolutely decimated, and he's up to, what was he at, 19 kills and went to 140 straight, 120 kills with a single ability. Pretty darn solid. Pretty darn solid, but the Plague Monks destroyed were simply summoned Plague Monks. Perhaps should have saved that for the Sensor Bearers, which are overwhelming the walls and starting to come down from them as well. The walls are ours, the gate is breached, and we are starting to now make our way up towards the city. In the meantime, Lord Skrolk will peel away from the rest of our forces and start moving towards SAYTANG himself. Gotta have him stop firing those arrows, and we certainly don't want any more of those big old shots coming down on our blobs of units. And speaking of coming down on our blobs of units, alright, play clause, relax, just relax. There we go, nice shot into that Plague Priest there, dropping about 20% of its HP in a single shot. Celestial Lion comes down and will activate its roar ability, Fearsome Roar, whatever, causing us to lose some leadership, though the immunity to psychology is quite irrelevant, and frankly so is the leadership loss, as the Plague Monks just don't care about that sort of thing. Besides, one line and a few Jade Warriors are not enough to hold back the Rat Tide, and we make our way forward to SAYTANG. Alright, some glorious animations on the big boy, but we'll see how he fares against Lord Skrolk himself, who is moving forward. Ready to bring that plague of Nurglich to bear. Actually seeing Cathan units fight under the, with some of the lizard stuff around is pretty neat. Kind of a neat combination. Alright, a nice little bit of a flamethrower work from the big boy, and oh my lord, all those rats go flying. Not Lord Skrolk, however, who has sighted the big boy, and the Liber Bubonicus will start doing damage to SAYTANG. It is not a percentage-based damage, however, so it's probably not going to do a crazy amount. But the damage will tell over time. And SAYTANG's stats are, what, 38, 36? The melee defense stats, hey, don't do that, don't, oh no. Well, that's concerning. Another shot into our Plague Priest. Okay, we're gonna have to back those guys off lest they take a few more of those. I thought he wouldn't be able to do that in melee, but apparently being locked down in melee doesn't really matter. Oh well, let's just keep summoning units here. We're gonna use that Poison Vortex. Festering Pool, was it? And keeping on summoning those Plague Monks to hold off the Jade Lancers above. And let's see. I want to say the enemy lord, but he's not technically the lord. Technically speaking, the lord is this magistrate, or was this magistrate, as he just got killed by this tiny little sort of commando squad of Plague Monks. I see lanterns dropping from the sky as well as they are being focused down by our artillery. Very nice. Granted, the, well, a Warp Lightning Cannon could probably do this in a couple of shots, because these things are relatively fragile, but, well, you gotta use what you got. And that's what we got. Onyx Crowmen come down to try to help SAYTANG out, but Skrolky, by the looks of it, will be bringing him down no problem, as Skrolky is completely unharmed, or whatever harm he takes is most likely to be regenerated. And the balance appears at about 95% in our favor. Still a few units up here holding out to the Crowmen. And I'm sure they'll kill off a few of our summoned clan rats, but, well, I'm also sure that we don't care. And the enemy settlement is just about overrun. There we go. The construct begins its crumbling. It is debilitated as the rest of the army shatters. And I'm hoping that the game will let us see his death animation, because I'm not sure I've ever seen it. I assume it... Huh, well, we'll see. I wonder if it's the same animation as the Terracotta Sentinels. Alrighty, a couple more shots. Don't want to miss the animation. I wish that the crumbling effect looked a little bit different, because it's the same effect as the as undead crumbling. But anyway, huh? I wonder if he can. I wonder if his death animation can activate while he's leaping around in the air like that as well. That would be pretty interesting. Anyway, how are you doing? Oh, there he goes. Of course. Again, he just sort of topples over, and then the lights go out. Lovely. Lovely. I also love it when the big monsters fall, but also leave their corpses on the battlefield. Really adds something to the to all of this. Anyway, with that, the battle's ours. We got one unit of Onyx Crowmen still hanging around, and huh? Wait, aren't you guys supposed to be taking damage when you're huh? Yeah, elemental instability is supposed to do damage to you. Huh? Maybe these guys are stuck. What the heck is going on here? Huh, oh, interesting. I think they're just stuck in a dying animation. Oh no. I mean, this is hilarious. It looks like they're doing like a backstroke swimming kind of deal. Well, the problem is, if they aren't being affected by stuff, they might be stuck in an invincibility frame, and if they are, that might mean the battle can't end. Well, I suppose we could try to capture the settlement, if that's the case. Well, that's what we're gonna try to do then, no choice in the matter, and I'll just spoil it. They do eventually die, but we're not gonna wait for it. Alrighty, very nice. I certainly wasn't expecting Skrolk versus SAYTANG, though the latter did do plenty of damage, 29k and 251 kills, launching those massive arrows into our hordes of rats. Though on the bright side, it was mostly summoned rats, so not a huge deal. Skrolk did outdo him in damage, and pure damage at least, and knocked him out as well, so. And, well, we also got the settlement. But anyway, decisive victory for us, a little bit of food. We will sack the place, like so, but we will not occupy it. Rather, once again, another scrying stone, and another artifact hunter. Enemy killed in battle, enemy killed in battle. Or rather, we'll want to go into ambush stance. Hope that the ambush stance does not get foiled by these jerk faces. And move here in the hopes that we can catch Mother Ostankya as soon as she takes, hopefully, the High Sentinel. Her army is absolute garbage, but, well, somehow she's still holding on to her last territory out here, isn't she? Somewhere out here. Are these guys even at war with each other? No, they're not. Well, either way, I believe that's the only thing that we had to do this turn, other than recruit for Metastone and build whatever cheap buildings, at least, we can build. Now, Metastone, you're going to start with whatever cheaper units you're going to want in your army, and that'll, I think, be the non-poison. We'll start with, well, I guess we got enough space to build whatever we damn well please, so let's do some regular gutter slingers. Not a crazy amount, maybe 5 of them, and then 5 poison ones as well. Oh, we need to have enough room. Wait, 5 and 5 will be 10, and 11 will have room for at least 4 heroes, which will put us up to 15. No, it's too many. Let's do 4 regular gutter runner slingers, 4 poison gutter runner slingers, simply because the regular ones, I mean, they are just objectively worse in every way, with the exception of doing tiny bit more damage, but having 20 more range. Is the 20 more range worth it, is the question. The ability to potentially outrange enemy range units is where this comes in really handy. But the poison application, I mean, it's a regular poison, so it will reduce enemy damage. Might still be worth more. Maybe we don't bother with the regular gutter runner slingers and go all poison. Maybe. I mean, they look exactly the same. It's just that one applies poison and one does not. So it's not. There's no visual variety. It's just, Alright, you know what? Screw, just go all poison. Why not? It feels more appropriate for the the gutter runners that are of the Eshin variety that are sort of attached to Clan Pestilens to all be poison variants. Makes more sense to me. And obviously we'll get a bunch of gutter runners with regular poison as well. Oh, actually the regular gutter runners without poison do 23 and 9 versus 21 and 7. So a little bit more damage as well. But again, no poison. Nonetheless, we gotta go poison. And of course we'll have some assassin heroes and Eshin sorcerers in here, and maybe at least 1 warlock engineer to buff everybody's range up a teensy bit more. Now that should certainly help if we can acquire said warlock engineer. Anyway, that's Metastone, and that's pretty much all of the cash we've got. Recruitment, unfortunately, is quite expensive. Floating Island, High Sentinel, we gotta ignore your Piranha Swamps. We can build the public order here. Once again, we gotta go for the cheaper buildings right now, as we've no choice in the matter. Shalanmapek, you're in the same position. Get that cheap building, and iron mines are pretty cheap as well. Your public order for now is pretty good, but will not collect the income, will allow it to rise. The public order, I mean. We should upgrade the Pox Marsh and Talax, which we will do. We should move somebody over here in order to get the public order fixed up. We can temporarily put Pestilens or Vermich in there, I guess. Anyway, that's all for the money we got because we're recruiting, so what are you gonna do? Anyway, let's end the turn. Skip. We are doing the designs of Nurglitch, and let's hope that the plagues that we get bump us up to the last of the pox buffs. Well, let's see if Mother Ostankya falls for this. Ah. She did, not in the way that I was expecting it, but sure. No peace, only war. Why didn't she go for the High Sentinel? We cancelled it, game, why? We specifically cancelled it. Oh, whatever. Whatever, man, whatever. Oh, let's kill her off. I mean, how often are we going to get the chance to fight Kislev? So we'll actually fight her. Austin, again, another mechanical claw. Honestly, I'm gonna say we're gonna take the money. It's a decent item. It's a very solid item. It's 6 loyalty. It's a little bit risky. And also, we really need the money for additional recruitment. And, hello, what do we have here? Vermich. Oh, huh. We would have been able to counteract it with the loyalty chance. But I think we take spread counter rumors again anyway. Gotta have that +2 control. It's too valuable not to have. The ambush did get foiled, but that's okay. We do not, unfortunately, have enough plague, poxes, whatever, to get warded by plague, so we'll go back into Carve Under tunnels, which should at least finish up in a single turn. We are able to reach Ostankya, which is good, and we will do so. Next up, oh, he did run, you little coward. You little coward. Oh, he's gonna try to destroy himself attacking Chupayotl now. I really wanted a defeat trade on the Mutant. That's disappointing. Mutant, I would like you to go here and, well, I was about to say you could reinforce, or you could just head out to sea and try to follow Harkin. You won't be able to reach him, but follow as close as you can. We'll see where he lands once his last territory is gone. Go here. Rather than going here, and we'll have Ian take the Star Tower instead. And our public order, not a public order, our income, especially with the new Eshin acquirements, will mean we'll probably be bankrupt shortly. Star Tower, we cannot risk using food on you, so we will sack you and then occupy you at your current level. Free Blade of Nurglitch, swell. Magical poison attacks. Yeah, once again, it's fairly easy to acquire the poison application for the Skaven. Don't occupy. Alright, Volcanic Islands is ours in the last territory belonging to the Vamps is ours. We will repair the place, and we will immediately buff up the... Actually, we'll wait until the expansionist planning is up, because it'll save us a turn. Oh! Huh, there is an army here. Mutant, I might have just kind of screwed you. Alright, well, you're gonna have to try to survive somehow in the sea with March Stance and a full stack beside you as well. Plus Luther Harkin, of course. But once again, this is the Mutant we're talking about. And, oh, we also have to trade Metastorm to Ian, at least temporarily. Alright, we'll do that later. Anyway, speaking of Metastorm, you, I believe, are gonna go for Esteemed Combatant for the armor-piercing weapon damage when defending. You... gonna max out Arms Dealer. And that's all the points you have, so that's all you're gonna do. Plague Priest, you have the summons maxed out, and that's the main thing. We could go for Onslaught. But I think Blessed with Filth and Wither are still both very useful abilities, so we'll probably still want to max those out. Alright, Mutant, sit there, see if you can survive. Skrolk. Alright, we'll move you last, because we're gonna fight this, just for fun. Vermich and Co. Alright, now... I believe I said that since Vermich has hunted down, we're going to use him to use the Poison Wind Globadiers. Oh, actually. Poison Wind Globadiers have very low armor. Maybe Encased War Pensions is necessary for them. I didn't realize their armor was that low. Another 10 armor wouldn't go amiss. Alright, fine. That means we'll need another Lord to transfer to. Although Ian holds the other stuff. Alright, okay, what's the best way to do this? You, Pustin, you, Vermich. Alright, Vermich, I would like you to move here. We're gonna send you to the Awakening. And you'll sit there for a turn or two. Huston and Nivaventer are both going around Itza and Quetza because they will be retrofitted into new armies and transfer stuff to other armies. Of course, we'll have to do that with Ian, but that's okay since we're going to be sailing out. Skrolk is fine. Metastone as recruited. We'll see if we have enough money to get him whatever else he needs. And, ooh, wait, we also have potential assassins. Enemy leadership reduction, missile defense chance, I don't like any of these. How about sorcerers? We got another shadow binder. Yes, please. I like the unspottable trait on the Eshin sorcerers because that makes them, well, unspottable, and that feels appropriate. We could get Silent Executioner, but it's actually not as useful as you might think it is, because if you have 2 assassins in the army, which you absolutely will, they will have 100% uptime on Assassin's Trophy anyway, and they'll pretty much always be working together anyway, making this not particularly great. I think we're gonna have to wait for the next assassin, and if we have money, maybe mill through them, but yeah, we'll want at least one more. We don't have another Warlock Engineer, or do we? Metastone. Set up the Warlock Lab at Lothar, which should increase our capacities. Like so. Alrighty, Metastorm is dead, and we will probably want to set up the subterranean pit here. We shouldn't have food maintenance costs, especially since our food is, well, always in danger. But what are you gonna do? What does this do again? Income from trade, tariffs, income from raising settlements, construction cost -5 for buildings faction Y. That is nice, but we don't have enough of these to make it worth our time in terms of spending the 4K for it. I'd rather get the subterranean pit and hope that these things can spread, especially because we can't actually take Ulthuan territories because they're all red territories. Unless we use them for food and farm the elves for food, which, you know, has merit of its own. Anyway, we need a Warlock Engineer. What do we have here? Death Frenzy, eh? You know, Death Frenzy might be a solid choice. Cheap Death Frenzy. Oh, I don't like the campaign line of sight reduction, but cheap Death Frenzy will allow us to power up our gutter runners if they should get into combat. On the other hand, Nose for Artifacts is pretty solid as well. Lots of items. Cheap Death Frenzy. I mean, in theory, we don't want to get into melee, but it probably won't work out the way that we want, eh? How often would we... You know what? Let's go for Nose for Artifacts. The thing is, this will be useful in auto-resolve, it will be useful in minor battles, whereas Death Frenzy will only be useful when you specifically need it. And we'll still be able to cast Death Frenzy. So, yeah. Let's go Nose for Artifacts instead. There may be better options. I don't even remember what the ones we got for the other guys have. You have... Warp Binoculars. I do like the targeting range. That is nice, especially for the Howling Warp Gale, as it has a relatively short casting range. And then that is the Mutants guy. What about Ian's guy? Steep Critch. Armor enhancements, armor, unit mass 100. Yeah, the thing is, using one of these guys with an assassin army will also mean we need to hopefully find an item that gives them hidden or unspottable or whatever it is. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that. Because at the current time, I don't think we have one. But anyway, Nose for Artifacts. Alright, and that'll mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 heroes, so that'll put you at 16, meaning you'll need 4 more gutter runners, or we could do 2 more... Oh, that's not enough. Oh, maybe it is. I feel like we should use more of the gutter runners rather than... with poison rather than slingers. Did I go too heavy on the slingers? Because I was just thinking we should probably get a couple of snipers in this army. And they would work nicely as well. Oh. 4 of these to 8 of these. We should probably reduce it by 6. Ah, that would waste of 2,000 gold. What a terrible, terrible waste. I guess we could put them in another army for now. Yeah, you know, let's put them in another army. Just as a support. I'm sure there's another army that could use some slingers. Let's go 2 more regular gutter runners. And then all heroes plus the 2 units of snipers that we're going to put in here. All right, that looks good. Hellkeek Stab, we should put you into this army. Sure. And we'll wait for the others. And I think that's it, which means, Skrolk, you got more fighting to do. Go hit Mother Ostankya, please. This army. The sad, sad army. And once again, the ambush does succeed. We get a lot of those darn debuffs on us, which are, well, which can be pretty darn significant, but they won't be enough to save Ostankya. Go. Oh man, Mother Ostankya, this is not going to go well for you. The ambush debuff, the march stance. Wait, was she in march stance? I think so. This is gonna go very, very badly for her. Anyway, we're gonna start the battle off with a nice little bombardment along the entire column of basic Kislevite warriors and an unarmored Kossars. We are, however, going to stop the artillery fire right after that, as the enemy army is surrounded and about to get hit with the plague monks from every direction. Of course, Skrolk will go directly for Mother Ostankya. Ooh, that affected that. That spell effect looks really cool. Did enjoy using the Hag Witches in the Kislev campaign because I got some really cool stuff. Anyway, very fancy spells. Skrolk has arrived, and there's the Libra Buonicus and Rod of Corruption activation. It's a lot of damage over time, and that's a lot of damage, generally speaking, all over the entire enemy column. Such as it is, the Plague Monks have arrived, the Censer Bearers are swinging, and their Aura of Rot is bringing those Kislevites down. And we've got, what, 82 more seconds in which our units cannot die. Though, funnily enough, the Kislevites, by virtue of their By Our Blood ability, which gives them 30 seconds of unbreakability when they shatter, that will give them the ability to potentially actually dish out additional damage to the relatively fragile Plague Monks after the Plague Monks' cannot die ability is gone for good. That said, the enemy are absolutely dying in droves up and down the column. The plague furnaces are working, and the enemies are gonna be dead shortly. Mother Ostankya is booking it on out of there as she is shattered, and it looks like her entire army is now done for. But that's exactly what we expected to happen here. There's really no other possible thing that could have occurred. And we'll see if we took any damage, but even if we did, it most likely was not significant. Anyway, we'll see if we can't chase Mother Ostankya down, and by the looks of it, we can. Well, maybe she'll be happy that she'll die in the forest here. Her crown of claws looks like a... oh, down she goes. Her crown of claws looks like a little mini eye of Sauron recolored. Seeing some animations I don't get to see too often today. So I wanted to see this one in slow motion as well, and there we go, Mother Ostankya disappears, and with that, the battle is completely ours. Lovely. Lovely. Alright, very nice, Skrolk, very nice. So that was, well, that was always going to go horribly for Ostankya, let's face it, and go horribly it did. Skrolk has 1 kill, but it was the only kill that mattered. We are once again going to sell off, and once again, fantastic work to our various Plague Monk Censer Bearers, though, I gotta point this out, 230 kills. The Skittering Decay, a regular unit of Plague Monks, did manage to outkill all of the Censer Bearers. Warriors, so yeah. Twin Blades do kill chaff infantry faster, so yeah. But against things like Chaos Warriors, these things would get obliterated, whereas the Plague Monk Sensor Bearers could still do reasonably well. This gives us more targeting range for spells, spell resistance, winds of magic powers. Oh, that's fantastic. Skrolk is really racking up some decent traits now. I'm loving it. Let's also have him channel because he cannot enter any settlement, and I guess we're going again for Pahuax. We should have gone for the Isle of the Crimson Skull next, but I guess it doesn't really matter over much. Anyway, a lovely defeat trait for Skrolky. A little bit more cash means we can actually possibly build some buildings, which we need to do considering we've been using all our money for... Oh, Ecstatic Legions. You want to trade? Sure. Consider the Blessed Dread. Well, they do like Clan Eshin after all. Oh, potential for another strong trading partner. Yeah, sure, why not? 332 money, that'll pay for itself very quickly. And we'll do the same thing with the Ecstatic Legions.
There is no wish
They won't do the non-aggression pact, but... oh, wow, they're fighting Wulfric. You might die fighting Wulfric. Wulfric is no slouch, but anyway. That's looking okay for now. We'll try to get these trade agreements going afterwards as well. How's that Confed looking? Rictus down to below 50. They started at like minus 110, so that's not horrible. Jade Court wants peace, Awakened want peace, but that's not going to happen. Caravan of Blue Roses, how much money are you willing to give us now? Oh, they're bankrupt. Ha. Before they were able to give us like 2 to something... 2 or so, okay. But I think we'll keep this as it is. No need to piss off the, no need to piss off these guys, which do like us. Also, just out of curiosity, do we have any missions from you? No, still no, and barely any passive, or barely any allegiance, but, well, that'll change. They don't have anything fancy yet, though the lethal toxin on the plague toads could come in very handy. Lethal poison. Combine that with the various other poisons, including the poisons available to the brood horrors, and we might put some toads in the in Ian's army. I do kind of like that. Alrighty. And obviously, that'll change as these guys get stronger, hopefully, ideally. Please, game, please. I believe we just got buildings to build now, so let's see what cheap things we can do, but we should also go through the commandments. You're fine as you are in martial planning, as you're a moneymaker. Koken Plains. We do want to upgrade the Plague Abbey, but at the current expense, it's just not worth our time. And since you're tier 5, you no longer need to really be in expansionist planning. You're going to switch probably forever to martial planning to generate more income. Yes. River Curveza, you are still looking towards heading to tier 5, which you're doing so well. The Turtle Isles, we will need more food out of this, and I guess we can upgrade these. Not the cheapest, but we'll still need to get them. Alrighty, and... I guess we can maintain expansionist planning. And this doesn't give us any faction-wide... Well... A little bit of extra growth versus a little bit of extra control. Yeah, just as you are for now. Copper Desert? Ah, yes, the Golden Colossus came up, but we didn't have the money for it, which is why you're still in efficient planning. We can, I guess, switch briefly to Expansionist, then switch you right back. Guanji Valley. And go for the Lumberyard, and go for the... Overseer's Lookout, and the food, and I guess the war in here, and yeah, that's basically all the money we got. Damn you, recruitment. So expensive. Everything is so expensive. Just like real life. And I made myself sad. Anyway, the Guanji Valley, you are fine as you are for now. The Night Forest Road, heading to tier 5, but keep collecting income for us. You will definitely get the mushroom whatevers, and keep collecting. The Capes are fine. For now. Keep collecting money, Man of the Bearded Skulls, keep collecting money, though you have the Molder building now. You're good. Efficient planning here, yeah, it's needed because the public order is horrendous. Altar of the Horned Rat. You are going to need to briefly switch to expansionist planning. You should probably build up the pottery rather than the control. Oh man, but the control, the terrible control. We have to prioritize it. Oh, we could if we could afford it, which we cannot. I could cancel something, but at the same time, I'm kind of too lazy to do so, so we'll just wait. I -5. You know what? Actually, no. We need to cancel something and build it here. Cancel the breeding pit. Not super critical. Build up this. And we need to switch you back to efficient planning, while the control here is just the worst. This place is... No, still need to fix up the control. So stay on expansionist planning, you're on expansionist planning. A lot of you are stuck losing control due to the expansionist planning because we can't afford to upgrade you, like the sacred pools here. Which is actually not a bad place to build an arcane generator as well. But what are you gonna do? Star Tower is fine, and Aymara Swamps are fine-ish. We can't collect the income from any of those, so we're good to go and end the turn. Hope I didn't forget anything, because it's too late to cry about it now. Also, I forgot whether I mentioned the threshold thing, but in case I didn't, I'll do it again. Yes, we reached an engagement threshold. Yes, the hour long, and the engagement threshold remains at 400 likes and 60 comments, and the next episode will be an hour long as well. Luther Harkin, damn. I was hoping he wouldn't do exactly this and would go for mutant. He's gonna destroy himself, right? Yeah. A shame. Oh well. We'll live without it. His defeat trade, I mean. 500 gold. Yeah, take the gold. Are you telling me that Luther died, but his frickin' cannon lived? His mortars lived? Ah, okay, game. Okay. Yeah, and that's what you gotta do to make yourself feel better. Alright, Gambler's Armor, Crooked Moon, Campaign Movement Range, 23 pox samples. Beautiful. That means warded by plague, and then the Vile Tide comes. Which will give us recruitment costs for Plague Monks and Plague Claws. Always nice to have. Attrition when under siege, casualty or punishment rate plus 50% for all characters, so even if they get hurt, we're fine, and the control thing is just completely irrelevant. Frankly, as a capstone, this is kind of weak. I guess the casualty or punishment rate is just assuming that you're going to be spamming Plague Monks all over the place, which will potentially take big damage in battles. Anyway, Mutant. You're annoyed to have come all the way here just to miss out on Luther Harkin's defeat trait, so I guess you're going to go for Lana Scott. Let us first, however, destroy all the other stuff around. You are going to take Pahuax. Should be auto-resolvable now. We also should not need to sack it again. I forgot to switch your stance. Out of whatever. Auto-resolve. And Gambler's Armor. Damn, we keep getting Gambler's Armor. Skrolk is a gambling rat, I suppose. Loot and occupy, please. Yeah, okay, I'm not risking food. We can't risk the food. We just can't do it. Maybe for Heshuatla. Research raise plus 25, wins and magic power reserve plus 25. Those are both very, very nice. Also, Skrolky, leave the settlement and get back to... No, that costs us 500 gold per turn. It's not worth it. Yeah, another engineering student. Nice, because... I just got you. You can have one of these guys. No, not the mechanic. Oh, actually, you can have a mechanic. Have the engineering student. Like so. And you know what? Let us... Wait. First of all, we check. Assassins. Vermin Vanguard. Melee defense. Enemy armor. What did I get on the first one? Vermin Vanguard? Yeah, Vermin Vanguard. Double it up. All right. I don't know why I got so excited. What we need to do is move Nivaventer to Oishul in order to recruit some stuff. We'll move Metastone to Quetzal, wherein we will recruit the new Vermin Vanguard. I think so. The two Eshin Sorcerers are going to join the army afterwards. And Boyle Roke will join the army afterwards as well. Probably the last of the units. Although, actually, because he's a caster, well, then again, the assassins will be wanting to travel with the other stock. And guys, do we really have nothing that gives us stock? Hey, do you have maybe something that... I don't think anything here would give you stock. At least I doubt it. Oh. Warlock engineers do tend to be kind of obvious. None of this would give us stock. Obsidian Blade... I have to do some itemization, actually, while we're here. Scrying Stone. Well, Scrying Stone does give us a little bit of that damage resistance and ambush success chance, but there are better things, like the Warp Energy Condensers, so fuse. Warpstone Armor, much, much better. Put one of these on every single one of our on every single one of our Plague Priests if we can. Talisman of Protection is fine. The Charmed Shields are fine. Blade of Nurglich and Shrieking Blade, they're both okay because they give magical damage, which sometimes is difficult to acquire. But yeah, I don't see anything fancy here that gives us stalking capabilities. We do have stuff that gives stalking capabilities on a lot of other factions, so I'd be surprised if there is no item in the Rat armies that does allow you to get it, but whatever. Metastone, stay here. A Nivaventer, we're going to use you to recruit just these 2 units. And just a couple of Warplug Jezzails. And how many more turns we have? This 3. Okay, we gotta be careful about that, because we will need to recruit a bunch of stuff. Then, we still need to move and knock the rest of this out. Mutant, we're just gonna ignore Airy Amstrel. I guess we'll send the Mutant to kill him, and then Ian to kill off Robbie the Starved, because we need to transfer stuff anyway. Go here. Just gotta keep an eye out on any other armies that are places we can't see. Alright, kill this real quick. Give us the money, which we need very much, please. And then, Vermich, you are going to go into the Awakening, and you're just going to sit there for a few turns. Like so. Then, Ian, you're going to sit in the Blood Swamps, not for a few turns, just, well, because you have to right now. We will then need to get on field a new Rat Lord, specifically the Encased Warp Engines guy, Schurft. Schurft, you're going to go here, and Pustin, you are going to... oh. I don't remember what has to go to him, other than the Avalanche Mortars, but it's certainly like that. And we'll see what else. And I guess you can... I don't know, you can move to Itza, maybe? Actually, you don't do anything for Itza. Let's move into Schlamopek. Alright, and then Ian has the other stuff. So 4 of those, 2 of these. Oh, are we missing one? We're short one. Death Globe. Damn. Metastone, if you please. Oh, okay. Nivaventer, if you please, get us another Death Globe. I really only built 3, not 4? 1, 2, 3. Wait, no, Ian has 2, and you have 2. I'm just blind. Well. Alrighty, I guess we're good. You're fine. And we still need to trade some stuff. I also want to keep an eye out on the... ah, there is another Scab-Scarred one available. Gotta send him somewhere, but we can... well, he's not gonna disappear, so we're still okay. Alrighty. Mutant, I believe you're ready to fight, so fight you shall after we do diplomacy. Crooked Moon is fine, Exquisite Pain... were you fighting? Oh, you're fighting Archie. Maybe not. Because once we confederate Molder, which is probably inevitable, the issue there will be that Archie will then potentially try to attack us. How much money are you willing to give us? 5.5k? Huh. That's interesting. What if we kill this army and then leave this army here? But they'll just sit in our territory and raid us. It is tempting, but I think the game won't let us do it. Anyway, go kill this mutant. Bring their last army down. Or at least their last proper army. That's a lot of artillery pieces, but I wager that it shouldn't be of concern to us, Go. Alright, here we go. Time for some of that mutant work to get to work, and we're going to start off with a big ol' artillery exchange. For once, the enemy has brought just as much artillery as we did. Lots and lots of those mortars. Unfortunately for them, we have the Warplug Jezzails in addition to our own Plague Mortars, or Poison Wind Mortars, and Mutant's Brass Orb and the Plague Claws as well. And big ol' range exchange will start the day, but the enemy artillery is not having such a great time. Oh, they have 6 mortars, not 5, whatever. They are not having such a great time. The one that got hit by the Brass Orb is already gone. We've got the crews getting knocked out rather rapidly as they are getting sniped by the Warplug Jezzails, and of course the plague damage over time, plus the festering pool is obliterating those units. Enemy has not quite made it towards our main line as yet, but they have drawn close enough at least for the warp fire, or not warp fire throwers. Well, yes, now the warp fire throwers as well, but the rattling guns to begin to fire. I love this frickin' army. It's got all the fun stuff in it. Of course, we'll be using some of these units elsewhere. I do want an army that's basically completely a fire army, but yeah. I'm gonna find a few other places to use the occasional Jezzail and Rattling gun as well. Plus, there's a lot of mix and matching potential with the various units, like mix and match Moors and Molder and Eshin and Scryer, etc, etc, etc. Anyway, here we go. Looks like the battle will be ours very shortly. At this rate, with the enemy artillery done, the enemy hero sniped, and the Lord falling rapidly. Look at that HP drop under fire from those rattling guns. I love seeing the heroes just melted down in seconds. There we go, and there's just something that's always been so incredibly satisfying about fighting undead factions with flamethrowers. And machine guns as well. Battle is just about ours, the enemy awash in warp fire. One last brass orb to get the last enemy unit on the field as all of our units switch targets to this one poor unit of zombies. And there's a few still standing. Oh, somebody just lost his head. Was there an eyeball just in the middle of the screen there? Or something? Yeah. No, wait, I don't think those are eyeballs. Those are... What are these? Are those the poison wind mortar projectiles? Maybe. Wait. Do we have any more in the air? They look like the poison wind globes, but they're not glowing, which is making me doubt it. Okay, wait, there's this thing here. No, that's not them. So what are these? What are these projectiles? Is it... Oh, I think that's the... I think this was a bomber unit. And these were the bombs that they were holding. This is the enemy's bombs, not our bombs. These are just too conspicuously non-warpstone glowing to be Skaven implements. But anyway. Anyway, a lovely little fight. Ah, beautiful mutants, generalist weapons teams, army strikes again, and certainly strikes hard. Lanniscott is down, and this faction is done for. Yes, they do have this little tiny remnant, but that's obviously of no threat. We don't have to move over there to deal with them. Now, Mutant, your army is one of the complete ones, so you're actually good out here, assuming that there's no island for you to pick up here, which alas there is not. Although, we can battle, armor, fortune, nice pickup. Sit here in the Star Tower for a turn or two. And reduce the construction, sure, why not? Build up the Star Tower. You could pick up this island on your way somewhere else. We may want to send Mutant out here to find Skaven Blight. They're doing pretty well by the looks of them. We could have Mutant set up at Sartosa and use it as a base, essentially. Or we could send him up to the... we could send him up to the Elves. I'm not entirely sure. I do think I don't want to have him go all the way down here. Well, then again, it's not that far. And we do need to keep at least some armies here. There's a lot of territory to be claimed in Cathay, potentially, though it looks like the Eshin guys ain't doing too bad. There's still lizards down here, and the western provinces have, let's see... 6 territories, 11 territories on the northern provinces, though they are fighting a lot of the Chaos factions. Alrighty. Also, I have not checked it in a long time. What do we actually have to do? Short victory. Ooh, capacity for all heroes, yes. Heshwatl, we need to destroy or occupy. Yes, we will do this. Achieve short victory conditions and control 7 of the following settlements. We will control... Okay, so Alter the Horned Rat and Uishul are the only ones here that we can get. Most of the other ones are from confederations, presumably. Erekazor, kind of far. Galbaraz, unlikely. I noticed that none of the Cathayan ones count. Huh. But they don't include Kunlan in it. But interesting. Anyway, that'll take some effort. Either way, Skrolk, let's see if there's... okay, that's everybody for moving. Not everybody for recruiting or building, however. Now, in the Lost Valley. I really have to build this, but once again, it's too expensive for now, so we'll keep you in martial planning. Culkin Plains, you are... While we would like to get that clan war council at 9,000 gold, it's just not gonna happen. At least not right now. River Curveza still heading towards where it needs to go. At least for now, into tier 5. Breeding pit. Let's build a breeding pit here. Can we switch you to control or to you? Well, you're growing nicely here. This is fine. You can get more food, because we need it. More arcane generators, after all. The more we have, the more money we make, the more rats we can output. Golden Colossus. I was eyeing that Grand Warren last time around, or last turn, but it's at the expense. Monument of Itzatal. We'll actually need to switch you to expansionist planning for the turn. The Night Forest Road is fine. Kayaks is fine. Citadel of Dusk is fine. Keep generating money. Mine of the Bearded Skulls is fine. Blood Hall is fine. Jungles of Pahuax is not collecting income. And let's delete that rubbish pit. Headhunter's Jungle. Yes. We will want to get the arcane generators here up immediately. And build the Warren up. And if we build the Overseer's Lookout, we can still build the port, which means for a turn or so we can switch back to efficient planning. And that takes us out of the remaining turns. We are losing public order here still, but that's a consequence of not having enough money. Which we'll hopefully be able to deal with. Gotta wait 2 turns until the Assassins or the Jezzails are up and running. I did do the count right? -2 will be at 14. Or actually, we'll be at 16 still, and then we got 4 heroes to put into this army, yes. Maybe a little bit too heavy on the slingers. I might replace one more of the slingers for another Jezzail. Because we need something to be able to act at long range with that army. Oh, we don't have enough money to recruit any more Jezzails, and they are quite expensive to recruit. Not that they'll ever get cheaper, since we're using the dominating scheme right now. Assuming we can't get any money for anything, and I don't feel like canceling stuff. Jade Court wants peace. Damn, the Awaken 113. It's the same amount of money, though. I would love to take it, but we can't have them raiding our territory forever, or for 10 turns until we're ready to betray them. Yeah. And unfortunately, that thing where you can tell them to leave, the trespassing warning, it doesn't work for that. The 10 turns cooldown still screws the player over. So the AI is still able to raid you forever, which is kind of dumb. But, well, hopefully they'll fix it at some point. Skrolk, you're at Pahuax. It looks like the Jade Court is just about done. Greasy will want peace. Greasy wants PC, but that's not going to happen. And... damn, 6k, though. But Nurgle won't like it. But 6k. I could redeclare war after. Just do it. I can't say no to 6k. We'll redeclare war in 10 turns, and hopefully Nurgle won't be too angry about it. And if he declares, well, maybe we'll give him some gifts, but also if he declares war on any other faction, we'll give him that. There we go with that. The Awakened are done for. Don't tell me this guy survived. Really? You survived, but Luther Harkin didn't when we wanted him? The one time we wanted him to survive? Oh, AI. Why? And I don't believe anybody here is liable to declare war on us. It's not like... ooh, we gotta keep an eye out on the Tzeentchians, though. They're not the most happy with us, either. Very much got a bell polisher. Everybody got a bell polisher. Warded by plague, and now the Vile Tide comes being established. Hey, we got a new Undercity. Well, isn't that lovely? The Subterranean Pit is working for us. Could potentially generate some... tiny amount of money out of it. But honestly, neither of these places are generating a lot of cash. And honestly, the Warlock Labs are worth more due to their Warlock Engineer capacity than anything else. Anyway, 2 more turns for you. Okay, before I forget, you have an assassin first, so we'll take the other assassin. Toxer the Warpsmith. Toxer sounds like a Pestilens name, Warpsmith sounds like a Scryer name, and you're an assassin. Okay. Cyanlet the Vomitus. Again, Cyanlet sounds like a Scryer name, science, and Vomitus sounds like a Pestilens name. Hellkeek Stab. Yeah, there you go. Hellkeek Stab. That's pretty Eshony, I think. Boil Roke in. Increase the... oh, that's Is that too many heroes? Did I go overboard on that? I don't know. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But this army will be ready to go in one turn. We will, I guess, just keep it here. We'll have Niv Event or transfer. And then we'll have one more turn to recruit stuff that we will want. I'll probably move those guys around between the episodes. For now, though, Skrolk, you are not able to reach... Damn. I was hoping to reach the Isle of the Crimson Skull with a hop, skip, and a jump, but alas, it's not possible. Which means we're going to move out of Pahuax. We're going to raid. We're going to move towards Shrine of Sotek. We'll hit it here, and then next turn we'll take the Isle of the Crimson Skull, which is looking to be rebelling. And then we will start working on Heshuatl, which shouldn't be too difficult, I'd wager. Still no non-aggression pact, eh? I don't understand why they canceled it, but, well, what can you do? I think it's probably because our empire is too strong. Also, we are losing food because we have not been fighting as much. Mutin, at the cost of a little bit of a... Oh, it's a Mysterious Island. March stance, go grab the Mysterious Island. And we'll figure out where to send you on the basis of that. We maybe want to actually cross the sea here and destroy Arcan, because he's at war with us and we can't have him sort of sailing over here and annoying us. Farsight, come on. Ah, Trunk of Maps. I was hoping it would be the thing that makes you get 10% reduction in upkeep costs. But alas, oh well. Considering how close we are to Arcan, we can send the mutant to burn down the dead. The main issue with that will be that we will then come into contact with the man-things here. And it looks like they're doing fairly good at tying up the desert with the, in combination with the lizards. Which ain't so great for us, but anyway. Shurft, you will take some stuff here. Yeah. You will take the Poisonwind Mortars, you will take the Warlock Engineer, and you will take the Death Globes. Do we give you a 5th Poisonwind Globadier? How much space will you have left? You're at 17 out of 20, counting the Warlock Engineer. You'll be at 19 out of 20 if we... Yeah, he'll be at 19 out of 20 if we count the Plague Priests. Which likely means we have no room for the Poisonwind Globadier, as we will need something that is able to knock things out of the sky like a Warp Lightning Cannon. Oh, and we need the Avalanche one. Yeah, we definitely don't have room. Do this. Keep the Plague Claws, though, because they're good and they combine nicely with the Poisonwind Mortars. And we'll see how this army functions. Whether it functions well remains to be seen, but we gotta give it a try, right? You now have the basis of the Fire Army. But that has to either go to Pustin. Maybe we'll put it on Pustin. Now, the main issue with that is that Weapons Engineer does reduce upkeep for Warp Fire Throwers, so in theory it should still go on one of those, but Pustin has the range increase via the... wait, no. Pustin does not have it. Vermich has it. Where's Vermich? Yeah, so Vermich has it via the Hunted Down trait. So we will still want to make use of it. These guys don't actually need the armor, in theory. Maybe that would be the better way to do it. Either way, Shurft. You are now missing your 2 Plague Priests, so let's get the Scabbed Scarred one here started. I wish it wasn't so ludicrously expensive. And I was going to trade one of these Plague Priests. You're Scabbed Scarred and you are Hideous Stench. Alright, let's go for the Scabbed Scarred one. Ian, you're going to transfer this guy. Like so. And with the Avalanche Mortars, that'll max out this army. I'd say there's a 90% likelihood that we actually should replace the Plague Claw Catapults in this army with Warp Lightning Cannons instead. And maybe even 100%. Maybe leave 1 Plague Claw just for Plague application. Yeah, we're gonna need Plague Claws, or we're gonna need Warp Lightnings. Meaning, Niv Eventer, you're gonna have to use that time to recruit them. But you can't recruit them here, we only have them available out of... Can't build this right now. We have them in the Southern Sentinels, yes? No, we never completed the Construction Cavern or the Warport. I swear I completed it somewhere, no? I think I had intended to, but then it got so costly that I never did. Meaning we won't be able to take advantage of the dominating scheme, will we? It's a crying shame. But we do still want those Warp Lightnings. We could give him the Ikit's Zap Zap, but I kind of wanted to save that for Ikit. On the other hand, maybe Ikit doesn't need it. Or we could always delete it later on. Yeah, fine. It's probably better than 440. Oh, Lord, it's expensive. Also, what does it do? Speed increase. Wait, is it only the Zap Zap that does it? It basically minus 100 speed? Damn. I just want to see what the contact effect is for the regular Warp Lightnings. Yeah, if I can find them in here. No, they just have the regular Warp Stone Scorch, which ain't anything crazy. Yeah, I'll probably need to do that. Build those up, but I will think about the admin between the episodes, I'd wager. Metastone, you are waiting for one more turn. Alright, we could have you channel, but then... yeah, you're fine. I guess we'll send you to Cathay. In fact, you know what? Well, just so that you don't waste time, you're gonna start moving. It's gonna cost us 400 gold, but it's a turn that you're not then wasting, and we'll send you through this sea lane. Makes sense to have Eshin units from Pestilens go there and show the other Eshin sort of assassins the superiority of our poisons and plagues. Hustin. I guess you're going here as well. Going to Quetzal. Yeah, go into Quetzal. You guys all stay together. You know what? I guess we are going to have to build this. Just build the Warp Forge, despite the insane expense and the fact that we won't be able to build those cheap Warp Lightnings. But, well, we had to do it eventually. We had to. We need more Warp Lightning, or we need more Warlock Engineer capacity anyway. And I mean a lot more, so... that's what you gotta do. We also should send somebody to find Ikit Claw. These guys are very expensive, but I think it's the Assassins that are super cheap. No, the Assassin Sorcerers. 83. I mean, not all that much. Oh, cooldown, bleed. That's not horrible. Infamous Rat, Brittle Bone. You know, I'm disinclined to waste 2,000 gold right now. It's not like Ikit's dying anytime soon, so we'll keep it up. I'd like to end the turn one more time before the episode is complete, however, so... well, there's a lot of buildings to build. You know what, let's start from the bottom where we know that we'll have to build stuff. Go for the Herb Gatherer's Camp by Mara Swamps. You can upgrade the High Sentinel. One of these days, it'll actually be completed. We'll do the Public Order building here and upgrade the Fuming Serpent as Sacred Pools. We're already almost out of money, so at least it won't be taking a long time. Tlashtlan, I guess we'll upgrade you. And that's basically all we can do. I guess we can do one more. Shalanwapek. And that's it. There we go. Yeah, we really need cash. Is there anything we could delete? I mean, we don't really need the clan rats here. Take out the clan rats. Any extra units, superfluous units that we don't need to immediately pop in an army. We'll use plague monks instead of clan rats. That I think is better. Well, barely. The Skaven slaves don't cost us anything, so we're fine. Although their costs will increase as the food continues to drop. But I believe we're okay now. So it's on the turn. One more time, and we're just about out of time with this episode. In fact, we are pretty much out of time, but I want to see about all of this. I was really hoping to knock out the Jade Court this episode, but all good. Luther Harkin. I don't know why you're even trying for peace. Would you just... oh, they'll still survive. Take the 2 food. We're gonna have to just send like a Skaven slave army to deal with them. Oh, huh. Yeah, watch Luther Harkin come back. If this lasts for 5 turns. Well, Mutant is unfortunately already too far away, but we could send one of the little Skaven slave stacks down there. Hello. What do we have here? Copy the symbols will give us 35% research rate, and while we do love those chromatic armors, we actually will get some benefit out of this now, so we will indeed copy the symbols. Last time we did not, but this time we certainly will. The Vile Tide comes, our capstone of pox traits is now ours, and... where do we go to now in terms of our techs? Monstrous Plans is fairly close for additional food capacity and food generation. We could go through Abduct... oh, wait, there's something useful here somewhere. This, Hit and Run. Speed plus 10 for all infantry. It's a critical upgrade. So, why do these take 5 turns and these take 3? I guess those are the cheap techs, but yeah. It's too good to miss out on, so we gotta go for it. I think here, reduce upkeep for Plague Monks. That'll be swell. I don't see anything super critical here. I do like the range for the weapons teams. That's going to be significant. Upkeep reductions for Wolf Rats and Horrors, which we will be building shortly for Ian's army, as it'll be Molder-centric. Yeah, no upkeep reductions generally. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We're building up our other forces. Anyway, it looks like with nobody attacking us, the... Ooh, 4.2k for sacking those. That's nice. That's real nice. How to resolve this? And sack it. And stop moving. Anything Slave, Artifact Hunter, and move back into the Shrine of Sotek and occupy. Hey, this will also give us dies. Why is there Slanesh Corruption here? Monument of the Moon has been taken by these guys. That is very rude. I'm telling we're gonna have to start fighting these Dark Elves. I don't want to share the Isthmus of Lustria with them. If they take any more territory, I might put it to a vote. Anyway, folks, with that, we are out of time, and I am going to call the episode here. Next time, we begin our... we begin the invasion of Lustria. That's pretty much complete. We begin the invasion of Cathay as Metastone with his new assassin army will be heading on out there with his fancy new stuff. Take out the Slingers, get the Warplug Jezzails, and get ready to move. Couple turns and he'll be down in the sea lane and assassinating jerks, just like the Horned Rat intended. And we'll probably also get Nivaventer, his army, who is also looking to get some Warp Lightnings, which means we'll probably build some more Warp Lightnings. Ian will move towards the... I guess the Mine of the Bearded Skulls, because he needs Wolf Rats and various Molder things. I want the themed armies up and running for when we invade other territories. Deteriorating, eh? Anyway, more stuff to come. We'll also begin the war with the lizards up at Kixoatl, Hishuatl next time around, so stay tuned for that. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially to Threshold. All glory to the algorithm. You'll also probably get some of these food generating things. They're relatively cheap after all. Just gotta be careful about being discovered. Anyway, and thanks for watching.